All right. Well, then we get to the main event of the evening. No, not that match. Because, again, the WWE is always in a position where an interview or a Legends reunion is more attractive to the viewers than an actual wrestling match. So the Bray Wyatt return was in the main event spot. Brian, what do you think I thought about Bray Wyatt's interview?
I think you were reminded of what we thought about him before he left, which was he clearly is a talented orator. He clearly has things he is looking forward to saying and doing. And this doesn't belong on a wrestling show, and it never goes anywhere. And am I close?
You started out real good, and then you trailed off. Because this was the best thing I saw on any of the wrestling shows.
What?
That's what I said. I'm not talking about... the entrance is fine. He didn't teleport anywhere. He didn't appear from another dimension. It's an entrance. And WWE does entrances better than anybody. And you can trace, big opulent entrances going back to Gorgeous George or Lawler coming out on the horse to Coliseum or, whatever the case. I didn't mind the entrance, spooky lights, music, fog, the forbidden door that opens, and a light from within, and a lantern and a figure emerge. You got to hand it to their production team. This is not making the wrestling business look bad, this kind of entrance. And it's a big budget production. So I'm good with the entrance. There's nothing about it that we're supposed to think is magic. And by the way, it's a catchy tune. Is that his old music? It didn't sound familiar. Is that a new song? Because they played the whole thing because the entrance did take 5 minutes.
New song.
So that was nice. He's got a vibe. People were up. They were chanting, welcome back, welcome back. But here's why I say this was the best thing I saw on either program. Yes, this guy can talk. Not only can he talk, but he's got the charisma, like I said earlier, promo charisma that Adam Page doesn't have. A lot of these other guys don't have. His voice, his giggle, his attitude, his unique delivery. That's what I like about this. I instantly knew that even if they told him this is kind of the direction we want to go, nobody wrote this for him. It's his words being delivered in his cadence. With Harley coughing again, I need you to get you another Claritin, baby. She's been such a good girl while she's up here today. Every once in a while, she'll wander over into the bathroom and go on her little pee pad. Because we're up off the ground here, so she can't get out.
May want to get her bladder checked.
Well, every once in a while. We've been here a while. But anyway, back to Bray Wyatt. The delivery, the tone, the way it flows, his inflection, and he was emotional here. And you could tell that there was some element of truth in this. I guess he's another person that's had doubts about himself or had crises in his personal life. And you mentioned earlier in the program, a lot of people have said, I've lost somebody. If anybody was going to lose anybody, if anybody was going to have doubts about themselves, if anybody relates to the wrestling programs and the putting it out in front of people, this is the one. That's where this card should be used. That's where that promo should be given, because this guy can fucking do it. It wasn't like Adam Page moaning and bitching and whining like a dork about his goddamn misery. This guy, you felt like he meant it. He said when he thought, nothing I ever did mattered, but I was wrong. The people still asked about me and cared about me and thanked me for what I'd done for them. And it was like the guy was having a nervous breakdown here on television. And it was captivating. It wasn't like again, I go back to, it wasn't like that goofy Adam Page screaming and punching himself in the head where you're staring at him like, what the fuck's the matter with this guy? You were listening to what Bray Wyatt said. and you believed that he was delivering it with authenticity and an air of genuineness. He was talking to him like Punk does, or like Mick Foley did, or like all the other, like MJF does, but in his own way. It was the same concept as those guys that can reach you on a verbal level, but in his own manner of delivery. And then he finishes up with, he, like any great babyface, because he's going to be a babyface now, they're happy to see. Like any great babyface, he drew a correlation between himself and the fans. He likened himself to the fans. And the same doubts about themselves and the same problems they had that they thanked him for helping them be distracted from or overcome or get past or whatever. He's doing the same thing to them. Thank you. You all saved my life. Between the delivery and the unique aspect of it and his vocal quality and the inflection and the emotion he put in this is how you draw money in wrestling. Now, I don't know what the fuck he's going to do from here, and we'll talk about the end of the segment in a second. If he's going to be set on fire again, or if the opponent in the Firefly Funhouse is going to be transported to another dimension. Remember that one? Where they're running through like a Rob Zombie movie. He was running through the Funhouse being, fucking accosted by puppets that have somehow become sentient beings. Then that's going to be garbage. But I can see now, if this was the original Bray Wyatt that people started enjoying and liking and being fan of before you and I, or at least me, started watching, and before they started doing all that supernatural bullshit, I can get into this fucking guy. He's got something there, but it's only if they start doing cinematic or supernatural or hocus pocus that this may go down the porcelain throne. And I'll give you the final comment on the end of the video, and then you can say what I surprised you with and what you thought was going to be the case. But as soon as he got all that out, thank you, you all saved my life, boom, another spooky video comes up on the screen. And there's a voiceover with weird visuals, and it's somebody talking to Bray Wyatt, and the deal is you've got no idea who you're dealing with, but you will. Okay, now I'm interested in finding out who that might be, because is there somebody else? Who have we overlooked that could come in and fill a spot like that? Is it somebody on the roster? It would be a different way of presenting them if that was the case. So who is this going to be? And more importantly, is it going to be a legitimate personal issue, a la the days when Kevin Sullivan or the more spooky people in wrestling would stalk somebody in kind of a realistic fashion? Or is it going to be, more Twilight Zone stuff where they're throwing fucking lightning bolts at each other? Your thoughts?
He's a talented guy. It's just I wish there was some billionaire out there who wanted to start a theater kid promotion for fucking wrestlers.
Well, but if he can work and he can talk,
but he can't work. But he can't work. We've seen his matches. His matches are terrible.
But that's when he was the Fiend and he was not selling anything, and you'd hit him over the head with fucking nuclear bombs and he would come back to life and all the supernatural stuff. Can he actually work a wrestling match? Did he do that before? Could he, when they were having him do that or letting him do it or telling him to do it? Or do we just got to get a good promo and then it's a rotten match with supernatural overtones? What's going on here?
Again, I think it's going to be nothing but supernatural overtones. He did this whole interview with spooky lighting.
Well, and I don't mind that. It was mood lighting.
Put me in the mood to turn the channel.
Oh, come on. If the guy, again, from this segment, I didn't see anything that couldn't have actually happened. A guy comes out in the mood lighting and does his promo, and he's talking to people, and it was meaningful. There was no supernatural. It was a spooky atmosphere, but that's part of his ambiance, so I can get behind that. I don't know who the antagonist is that popped up on the screen at the end. I'm looking forward to finding out, and I hope they don't disappoint us by then going to fucking Hogwarts and having a goddamn sorcerer battle or something.
If I was Bray Wyatt, I would go into the truck and kick the shit out of the director. Because how did that get on the air? There's your clue to figuring out who it is that submitted this. Who is it that had access to the truck?
What has become of us here when I'm willing to work with them a little bit more on logic?
I know, what the fuck with this guy? I mean, look, and again, very talented guy. Clearly, Blackjack's charisma and way with words skipped a generation, and he's got it as good as anyone. He's an amazing talker. He's very compelling. He should start a church, or he should go out to Hollywood and be an actor. But I don't want to start seeing this again. We know how this is going to end. We know how this is going to turn out. Unless we believe that it was all Vince, we know where this is going. And that's why I'm not getting all excited. Everyone else gets excited when anyone pops back up. How Can I Miss You If You Won't Go Away has been proven true several times this year. But I'm not going to give this guy a chance. He's got to show me something as opposed to him showing up and I'm supposed to forget years and years of crap.
Well, I'm not going to goddamn, just move in with the guy and become his foot servant. I like the promo. We'll see where this goes from here. But if they can avoid doing anything that violates the natural laws of gravity and physics in a program with this guy from his interview, I'm willing to give him a chance. See, people always say I never give anybody a chance. Well, he's been gone away for a while. They burned him to a crisp. They scattered his ashes to the winds. Now he's been resurrected. Let's see what he does from here with a new administration.
All right. That's all I'm saying. Once again, the show went off the air with a spooky character taking over the Titantron and seemingly also the television feed. And he had some mysterious nothings to whisper to Bray Wyatt, and then the show just went off the air.
But now who's the mysterious spooky figure going to be? Because if it's somebody on the roster that now they've just made spooky to fight Bray Wyatt, well, that'll kind of be a letdown.
Maybe it'll be Rikishi.
Oh, come on. Is there anybody in the world of wrestling that we can think of that would fit that tease and come in and have a program with Bray Wyatt? And why wouldn't we have heard about him before now?
Malachi Black.
Oh, well.
And WWE just re-signed Bo Dallas, his brother. Let's not forget that, who has never... Whatever he can do, he's never really had a chance to do it on the main roster. So
whatever he can do, he's never really done it? Is that what you're trying to say?
He's never done it on the main roster, whatever he did to get over in NXT years ago. But perhaps if they brought Bray Wyatt back and they just signed his brother, they're going to do something with them together?
Well, no, because, Bo Dallas, when I hear that name, I immediately think of a spooky figure on a Titantron. No, that would be the biggest popcorn fart in the history of fucking entertainment. It would have to be some type of name that one would get a jolly in their taint from thinking about so-and-so versus Bray Wyatt. Battle of the Spooky People. But it's a cliff. They left with a cliffhanger. Be thankful for small favors. Usually people just wander off and they play music.